What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge. I'm your host, Alan Bell, and we have a fantastic show lined up for you this Friday. And I'll tell you what, Jeweler, let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at how we did yesterday. Oof, X is on the board. And look, let me say this. I'm probably the jinx on the day because as soon as I put my hands on the Avalanche, it has just been that kind of week. Do not let me bet on if the sun is coming up tomorrow because that's going to be bad news for everybody. However, on the Early Edge in 5. Excellent job here. The 4-pick parlay that comes through. Props comes through on Bam Adebayo. Zach Attack again coming through on Jaylen Brown. And the coach goes 1 for 2. No Robert Williams, but does on BA. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Enough rambling from me. Look at this all-star crew. M squared. How we doing, sir?
Good morning, AB. Good to see you. Nice to be back with the soccer guys here. It's a beautiful morning. Fired up, ready to go. Got some day baseball with some absolutely insane weather we're going to talk about. So those are the things that get me excited, as you know.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. And look, it has been just a weird week of betting. It really has. Now, the playoffs bring that, right? Like, it's much more difficult when you have the playoffs going on. But today is the day, and I know Coach says, when we have a bounce back or a ho-hum day, whatever. Look, it's going to be a great Friday because our two dudes below are not going to let it not be, even though that's a double negative. Buckets, my man, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing good today, AB. Anytime I can be on the show with you, the Guru, and M Squared is a good day, so excited to be here.
It is. Now, let me say the other day, it was fantastic when somebody said that you had the Bosworth haircut, which you do, which is awesome. Like, the Boz was awesome. He was just great, right? Now, something that a lot of people in the audience may not know, Buckets, how tall are you?
I am 6'4", AB.
Yeah, you were much taller. Like, when I first saw you and me, you, M Squared, and Noah had lunch, like, I figured that you were tall, but you were much taller than I thought. I was like, oh, wow, Buckets, my man. You look like an NBA player, dude. All right, Mark W. Green, enough of me yapping. How we doing, sir? Good afternoon to you, by the way.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. I'm average height, so. But it's funny, isn't it? You don't know. I have no idea how tall you are. You could be 7 foot tall, or you could be tiny. Who knows?
Well,
each other digitally.
I'll tell you this. I would do some subtraction off that 7 foot. I would do that quick. Much shorter than 7 foot tall. Now, Buckets, if you don't know what the Boz looked like with his haircut, I believe, Jeweler, you've got an image for us here. See? Yeah, there you go.
I will say after I got off the show yesterday, I checked my Twitter DMs, and I had about 15 different people that sent me pictures of the Boz and side-by-sides of me and him and really letting me know kind of who I was repping today.
Hey, look, man, the Boz was a bad dude, man. When he was in Oklahoma, he was a bad dude, man. It was awesome. All right, let's get into the storylines that affect the betting lines for today. All right, and Martin, I'm going to come right at you first. All right, 2 title races going down to the wire, final day of the season. Break it down. What do we got?
Yeah, this is really big, Alan. Normally, the title races are wrapped up by the final day of the season, which was the case in Spain, Germany, in France as well. But in England and in Italy, the title race is still alive and kicking as we go into the final day of the season. So in the Premier League, we have Manchester City 1 point clear of Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table. If Man City beat Aston Villa, they will be crowned Premier League champions for the 4th time in 5 years. Liverpool need to beat Wolves, and they need to hope that Man City slip up against Aston Villa, a team managed by their former captain, Steven Gerrard. If Steven Gerrard were to hand Liverpool the title, it would just be a huge story over here. And we've got a similar situation unfolding in Italy. AC Milan are 2 points clear of their rivals Inter Milan at the top of the Serie A table as we go into the final day. Milan have a tough away game against Sassuolo. They need to win. Inter need to beat Sampdoria to have any chance of winning the Scudetto. So it's all to play for. Can Man City and AC Milan both win? Will the next two teams? I think my watch is saying it can't understand me, but yeah, it's all to play for. It's all to play for. So 2 massive title battles unfolding, and I think there's a lot of value to be had on parlays.
Yeah, and I'll say this apropos of nothing here. When we were in college, we would play FIFA, right? The video game, and you bringing up Steven Gerrard. Like, the announcer would go crazy. He's like, Steven Gerrard! Like, so as soon as you said it, man, like, it brought me back to, like, playing FIFA with my buddies, man. That had nothing to do with anything. It just brought me back. It was funny. Real quick, I do want to make sure Black-Eyed Susan raced today at Pimlico. Picks that Gene Menez and Michelle Yu on our Preakness preview episode that is in your feeds now. So make sure go to youtube.com/sportsline. Check that episode out, or on the podcast, however you digest and consume the early edge. We will get you set and ready for today and tomorrow in horse racing. So I wanted to make sure to shout that out. All right, Buckets, coming over to you. All right, most major leagues in Europe, last matches of the season. How do we approach it? What do we need to know?
We have to approach this very carefully, because while we do have these fantastic title races going on, we also have some teams that are fighting to stay out of relegation. We have teams fighting for Europa and, league and conference competitions. And we've got some teams that don't really care at all this week. We're going to see some of these teams that are more middle of the pack. They've already looked on to next season. They've got nothing to gain from wins here. So we got to be very careful in all our matchups to see if teams are motivated to even try at this point. There's going to be great examples of we have teams that have to win to avoid relegation versus teams that might not even play any of their starting 11. So it's a tricky spot to be in, but there's a lot of value to be had if we take the time to put in the research to see what teams need to win this week.
It's good information, man. Good information. Now, speaking of good information, M squared, weather, Major League Baseball, what do we need to know?
It's an absolutely crazy day in terms of weather in Major League Baseball. First game of the day. It's a day game at Wrigley with the wind blowing out, and it's hot. 84 degrees, winds blowing out 20 miles per hour. That results in a 45% increase in scoring. You've probably noticed if you looked at the betting odds, the sportsbooks definitely agree with that as well, as that game at Wrigley opened at 11.5 on the total there. Next one, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. Once again, really hot, plus 10% in overall scoring, 86 degrees. Air density index down in the low 60s, plus 20% in Baltimore with the Rays and the Orioles, plus 30% in run scoring, Detroit and Cleveland. That one's really hot, wind blowing out there as well. Seattle, Boston, around plus 15% increase. And then the big shocker, we've got the heat wave across the country everywhere except for Colorado. 34 degrees in Colorado today. This game could get postponed, but you're going to see the total there at only 10 in Colorado, minus 20% in overall run scoring. If this game even plays, they're expecting a foot of snow in some parts of Colorado today. Just absolutely insane.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's wild that, there's that much weather change across the country. You know what I mean? And like we see in the chat here, A-Rob says, it's snowing here. Dude, I'm in Nashville right now, same as Mike. Like, it's 91 degrees at 9 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like 100% humidity. Like, I'm pretty sure we could go out to the Sound Stadium and start crushing bombs. Like, it's that humid. And then, like, we're dealing with like a foot of snow, in Colorado. So it's nuts. All right. Before we get into our picks for today, let's take a quick break. And we are back. All right, let's get into our site plays for today. Only one for you. All right, we're going to go to the NHL. We're going Oilers, Flames. We're going to go Flames minus 1.5 at plus 145, courtesy of our man, Matty Boy, Matt Severance. Look, game one, a 9-6 scoring fest. The Flames were up 3-0 in the first 4 minutes. It was pure insanity. We're going to ride the Flames here on the puck line at minus 1.5. The home team has won 6 straight in this series between the two. So that's what we're going to roll. Flames minus 1.5. All right. Mike, coming right back at you, buddy. Now, like I said, I can't do it like Coach does. I'm not good enough at all. But give it to me.
All right. We're taking advantage of the weather and a good team on the road with that 9th inning team at bat. St. Louis Cardinals team total over 4.5, minus 110. Played that this morning on WinBet. I would play it up to minus 125, but definitely get it before it moves to 5 if it does. Love this spot for them, though. Really good hitting environment overall, as I said, plus 10% in overall run scoring, really warm. They get the 9th inning team at bat. And then we've got some exciting news. Nolan Gorman has been called up. He's going to make his debut most likely today for the Cardinals. Love having his left-handed bat in the middle of that lineup. Just a good spot for the Cardinals. We're going to take them to get at least 5 runs in this game.
I love it. And you've been money, man, on the St. Louis Cardinals in terms of their offense. I've seen it both on the show and in the office. The one that you pulled like 2 or 3 weeks ago, literally going batter by batter. And I think, it was Goldschmidt, like the third at bat, put it up in the run in the first inning. Just fantastic, man. So well done on that. All right. Mark W. Green, my man. good afternoon to you again. You have 2 plays for us. Hit us with it, buddy.
I certainly do. And the first is actually a 4-team parlay. So the 4 teams that I mentioned earlier in the show. Manchester City have won their last 8 games against Aston Villa. I think they should make it 9 in a row this weekend. I expect Liverpool to play their part by beating Wolves too. This is an identical situation to the one that unfolded on the final day of the 2019 season. Man City and Liverpool both won their games and City finished 1 point clear of Liverpool. I think the same thing's going to happen again this weekend. AC Milan, they've been magnificent in recent weeks. 5 consecutive Serie A victories. They're now on the brink of winning the title for the first time in 11 years. So this is huge. They don't have a great record against Sassuolo, which is concerning, but I think they should find a way to win this game. Inter are just killing it at the moment. They should make short work of Sampdoria. So I've gone for a 14 parlay. Man City, Liverpool, AC Milan, Inter at -130. My second bet is Newcastle draw no bet. They're the heavy underdogs for their game against Burnley in the Premier League, which I find quite strange, to be honest. I watched Newcastle play Arsenal on Monday night. They absolutely destroyed Arsenal. Arsenal were trying to play for a top 4 finish. Newcastle had no motivation whatsoever, but they were just displayed so much intensity, so much quality on the ball. It was such a one-sided game, and the scoreline should have been even higher. I think that Newcastle look really good. And Burnley have a massive amount to play for in this game because they're desperately trying to avoid relegation. But I still don't think it's going to be enough for them to beat Newcastle in this game. You can get odds of +230 on a Newcastle win, which just looks like a huge price when you consider the form they're in. 5 wins in their last 7 games. I found +135 on Newcastle draw no bet. So you get your money back if it finishes in a draw. I think that looks like a great price when you consider how impressive Newcastle were on Monday. So I'm sticking with it. Newcastle draw no bet +135.
You're a smart man, Martin. +135 and getting a little insurance in on that play as well. I like it, man. That's a smart play. It's the way to go. All right. Now, our man Coach could be on the show. He's on the run. He's got things going on in terms of golf, but cash with the coach. You know he's not going to miss that. So, Jeweler, hit me with the coach's pick for today.
What's good, everybody? It is your boy, the Coach, and we are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've arrived. It was a long trip, but we made it here. We continue to grind. Don't forget, coming up at 11:40 Eastern Time, I will be live on CBS Sports HQ. But for the here and the now, we told you last night that the Celtics had to speed the game up if they wanted to compete with the Miami Heat. What did they do? We got 229. We sailed the over by 22 points. Today, we're going right back to the well again because the Dallas Mavericks cannot play like they did in Game 1. But I think the trend is going to continue. They lost the first 2 Game 1s of their series earlier in the playoffs. They did it in round 3 in the Western Conference Finals. But in Game 2 tonight, they've got to score. They got to move it. Luka can't be dribbling the ball all day. So we're going to take the over 214. And we'll take it all the way, you know where. Let's have a day. Let's have a weekend. Every sport is playing. Let's stick together. Let's grind. And don't tease AB too bad. AB, back to you.
I love him. I absolutely love him. Coach, well done on that as always. Now, buckets. In honor, 1 of Lenny, always in the chat, bringing it. 2, oh, no, Lenny, I love you. Well done. I love it. Keep bringing it in the chat every single day. 2, in honor of Mama Buckets, who we don't see in the chat as much. However, Mama Buckets, we love you. Always. You are always welcome back. This is your show as well. So, Buckets, you are in the Maestro spot today. You got a few picks, man. Give it to us.
Let's just jump right into it. We are going to start in France's League 1. This is my match of the weekend across all leagues for me. It is RC Lens versus AS Monaco. And this is one of those examples of matches where we find teams that really, really want to play and that really, really need to perform here. Monaco, with the win here, clinches the 2nd spot in the League 1 table and clinches a Champions League spot alongside with PSG. So a win here means everything to Monaco. That on top of a 9-game win streak right now, we think they're going to take care of business here. So we're running Monaco over 1.5 goals team total at -125. Jumping from France to Germany, we are going to the DFB Pokal Cup final. And we all know that cup games can be a little bit tricky. However, the Bundesliga season is over. This is the last match for both of these teams, and both teams will be desperate to bring home any kind of silverware after the seasons they've had. So I'm loving a little bit of BTTS action on this, again at minus 130. Those are some great odds because I'm expecting a very high-scoring back and forward 2-2, 2-3 style game here. Then going to Spain in La Liga, we have an example of a situation where one team has everything in the world to play for and one team has absolutely nothing to play for. We have Deportivo Alaves taking on Cadiz. Deportivo Alaves is relegation bound no matter what. There's not a scenario where we see them avoid relegation, so La Liga 2 is in their near future. However, Cadiz has the chance to avoid relegation potentially, but only if they get a win here. Only 3 points separate the 18th spot from the 14th spot in La Liga right now, so Cadiz will be desperate to bring home any kind of points in this matchup, which means that we're taking Cadiz over 1.5 goals team total as well at minus 115.
That's beautiful. And poor Deportivo. It never works out for them. I feel like they're always headed towards some sort of regulation. Like they just never have good seasons. Those poor fellas over there. All right, everybody, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Let's look at the recap here. And of course, with the jeweler behind it, it's glorious. M squared is on the Cardinals team total over 4.5. Bar W Green, a parlay, Man City, Liverpool, AC Milan, and Inter that pays out at plus 130, as well as Newcastle draw no bet at plus 135. Buckets, Monaco team total over 1.5 goals. SC Freiburg, and how do you pronounce that?
Leipzig.
There we go. I wanted to get it correct there. Both teams to score minus 130, and Cadiz team total over 1.5 goals minus 115. Cash with the coach today. Mavericks Warriors over 214, and the side play courtesy of our boy Matty Severance. Flames on the puck line minus 1.5 at plus 145. And jeweler, bring yourself on, man. Break down this jeweler's gym for us. What do we got?
All right, so I got 2 golf plays for you guys that I'm going to play separately, but also going to wrap them up together in a little parlay. So these are round 2 bets. I'm going to take Davis Riley over Thomas Peters. I love Riley in this spot. He's rolling the rock, and that has translated very well for him in recent tournaments. They didn't mow the greens today, so that should, or overnight, so that should make things a little bit easier for him to putt well. He had a phenomenal strokes gained tee to green day yesterday. So we're going to ride the hot hand with Davis Riley, the PGA Tour rookie. Write it down. You're going to see more of him in the future. And then this might be heresy, okay? We're going to take Rory McIlroy at plus money over Jordan Spieth and Tiger Woods in an afternoon 3-ball. This is the marquee group, so you're going to get eyeballs on every single shot all 3 of these guys hit. I hate to say the big cat ain't got it now, but Tiger Woods looked very bad yesterday. So I don't love his chances for today. I think he's going to miss the cut. Jordan Spieth could be erratic with the driver, terrible with the putter. The wind should be coming up today, and I don't think that looks well for Jordan. So I'm going to take Rory over Spieth, and Tiger is the second leg. That's plus 110. So combine both those picks, and it's plus 293.
I love it. Great plays. And I'll say this. I have been as cold as ice, so thank God for me and for everybody that I don't have a pick on this board at all. Trust me, we went and ran laps last night, this morning, just taking 24 hours to get ourselves back in order. But these picks are fantastic. So that's all the damage that we can do for you today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Seriously, we really do appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great Friday, a great weekend, however you choose to spend it. If you're outdoors with friends and family, or you're just hanging around the house watching some sports, doing other things, hey, enjoy it. That's what the weekends are for. So, as always, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow.